evening. I'd like to call the November 6, 2023 meeting to order. Would you please rise and join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3, other board business. We have a recommendation of the 2023-2024 tentative agreement between the WCSC and the WCTA. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Walhelmus. The 2023-24 tentative agreement between WCSC and WCTA is included in your board packet. I recommend that the board ratify the 23-24 tentative agreement between the Warwick County School Corporation and the Warwick County Teachers Association as presented and discussed at the public meeting on Monday, October 30th, 2023.
I make a motion to approve.
Mr. Mosby makes the motion. Mrs. Metzger seconded the motion. Do we have any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 3.2, recommendation of supplemental payments to individual teachers. Dr. Redmond.
Per Indiana Code 20-28-9-1.5, a school corporation may provide supplemental payment to a teacher that is in excess of the salary specified in the compensation plan for a variety of reasons. These supplemental payments were not bargained, but instead determined to be fundamental to the advancement of teacher education and development. We have determined that 61 teachers hired between 2014 and 2023 warrant such a supplemental increase. These teachers earned a master's degree per the qualifications for master's degree in the teacher contract since becoming an employee of WCSC, or were required to have the equivalent of an EDS or Education Specialist license upon initial hiring. I recommend that the board approve the supplemental payments, which will be added to annual salary of $1,000 to each of these employees as identified.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Baker, second by Mr. Franz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 3-3, recommendation of salary increase for calendar year non-certified employees. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you. In your packet, we have included a list of the non-certified employees. Within the list are the employees identified as calendar year employees. The percentage of pay increase varies between classifications and among the groups. Each group or classification has a new hourly pay rate assigned to it per the percentage increase. In addition, specifically identified is each individual employee and his or her proposed rate of pay. I recommend that the board approve pay increases to calendar year employees as presented effective October 28, 2023.
I have a motion by Mrs. Metzger, second by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 3-4, recommendation of salary increase for school year non-certified employees. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Walhelmus. Again, in your packet, we have included a list of non-certified employees. Within the list are the employees identified as school year employees. The percentage of pay increase varies between classifications and groups. Each group or classification has a new hourly pay rate assigned to it per the percentage increase. In addition, specifically identified is each individual employee and his or her proposed rate of pay. I recommend the board approve pay increases to school year employees as presented, effective July 24, 2023, for labor assigned in the 23-24 school year.
I have a motion by Mr. Franz, second by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 3-5, recommendation of salary increase for building/corporation certified administrators and managers. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you. In your packet, we have included a list containing building-level certified administrators, corporation-level administrators, and corporation-level managers. Utilizing criteria outlined in the WCTA tentative agreement and a variety of years of experience multipliers, we have calculated proposed salaries for each of the positions listed. In addition, per the tentative agreement, certified administrators will receive the 0.5% 401A annuity increase. I recommend the board approve the pay benefit increases as presented, effective July 1st, 2023.
We have a motion by Mrs. Metzger, second by Mr. Franz. Is there any discussion?
Does this include the cafeteria position? The
The
manager of cafeteria?
Yes.
I believe that our manager of cafeteria should be equal to our manager of transportation. And I feel like that she's been here 20 years. She runs a budget, she runs a big staff, she does construction, and I feel like that it would be equitable for her to be equal to the transportation. That's my opinion.
Is that a motion?
I'll make this motion, but with that modification.
Do we have a second? Or do we have,
You're going to have to,
we'll have to
you
have
already have
discussion.
a motion on the table.
Oh,
We
you
have a
did?
motion, but we don't
Well,
have
then
a
if we have a
second.
motion on table, I would ask that that motion be amended for that correction.
Or ask if there's any further discussion.
I don't know, to me, that would need some clarification. Are you talking about the individual managers or the
I'm talking
overall
about one manager who
One
is,
manager.
one manager who I
She-
feel like,
Manager of the food
Yeah,
and nutrition.
right.
and
Would you like some clarification on that?
I'll be
Would you
glad
like
to have
Would you like
clarification.
clarity on how we got
Yes.
to that number? Is that what you're asking, Jeff?
Yes, that would be fine.
Well, what you're proposing is a $13,000 pay increase. If that's what you're looking for, the pay increase on there is
No.
not quite that high, but it is based on the same indice that's used for
No, you're talking-
all the other managers,
It's a 7,000.
on top of the almost 6 that was
So-
already in there.
And I totally understand 13,000. That's not the question. The question is, why does that position not warrant being at the same level of the director of transportation or the director of maintenance?
Because the board, for the past 21 years that I can identify, has never addressed the difference between those. The position never had the same responsibility consideration. What you're proposing is that it's equal to that of the transportation and/or manager of maintenance. But certainly the number of employees that are in the food service department would be that. I mean, it's by far of the 5 managers, the most number of employees.
And the budget of that she supervises, is it equal or greater than transportation?
No, transportation budget's bigger.
Has a
than that.
bigger budget? Okay.
Is it possible we could go ahead and pass it as it is, and then we could come back and address that and give a raise later on if we so?
That would be my
Can
If
we
we
do
would
that?
decide to do
I
that.
mean, you certainly can, at any point, evaluate an individual's salary. Not that I'm saying yea or nay against
Right,
it.
right.
I'm just saying that to jump
Well,
like that,
I would totally like to receive some more information. We can address that. In that case, I withdraw the request for changing the motion, but I would like for us to address that at a future meeting.
Okay, so the motion on the table right now is we recommend salary increases for the building/corporation certified administrators and managers. Is that the motion?
Has that motion been made?
I think Brenda
Okay.
made
Yes,
that.
Brenda made
I
the
thought
motion.
so.
Mrs. Metzger made that.
Is there a second?
Not yet.
I will second that motion.
Okay, we have a
That's
second
just
by,
acting like Jeff never said anything.
Well, that's a
let's just
positive.
erase, we're gonna erase Jeff's comments, so, okay.
No, Jeff's concerns can be
Erase
noted.
that part out
Those
loud.
concerns will be addressed later.
It wasn't
Okay.
important.
So, is there further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 7, recommendations, item 6, goodness, sorry. Recommendation of additional paid leave for part-time employees. Dr. Redmond.
Currently, part-time employees working 4 or more hours per day receive 2 leave days for illness. This often results in a number of reduced paid days during the course of a year. We recommend the board grant 4 undesignated leave paid time off days to those part-time employees who do not otherwise qualify for benefits who work 4 or more hours per day or 20 hours per week, effective July 1, 2023.
We have a motion by Mr. Franz, a second by Mr. Mosby. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 7, recommendation of rate increase to substitute teacher pay. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Oh, you're just skipping some.
Yeah, we're going to table one of our items tonight, so we're finishing up with this final salary, sub-teacher pay.
Sub-teacher pay.
Thank you. We have had the foresight to increase substitute teacher pay a couple of times in recent years. It is again time to adjust the daily rates that are assigned to the individuals who take care of our classrooms when our teachers are off work. I recommend that the board increase substitute teachers' pay into the following daily amounts. A person with a substitute license would jump to $105 a day. A person with a teacher's license would be $125 a day. And for a retired teacher who subs for us, that would equal $150 per day.
I'll make the motion. Mrs. Metzger
I'll
made the
second.
motion. We have a second by Mr. Baker. Is there further discussion? I think this is a great thing to do. We are
Yes.
always in need of subs, and I think it's a step in the right direction. Thank you for this item. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Is there any further business, Dr. Redmond?
No,
Yes.
no further.
You guys might need as a board to make for that tabling to be effective in the minutes, to show that, because it is on the agenda,
Sure.
to remove that officially from the agenda.
That's the reason
Okay.
I asked.
Yes, thank you, Tim. Thank
Okay.
you, Todd. Thank you, Tim, for trying to jump in a minute ago.
Yeah.
We have removed item 7.
I make a motion that we table item 7, recommendation of changes to vacation leave.
Do we have a second? Mr. Franz.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Additional.
Now I think we have no further business,
Okay.
other than just saying, what a great night for Warwick County School Corporation and its employees, and again, had a great time working through all of the teacher contract with WCTA, and then, of course, for all of our non-cert employees as well. We're excited that we're able to help our employees and show value in our employees. When we do that, we know that also has great impact on our students. So thank you for the approval and the support from the board as well. So thank you.
Thank you
And
all.
I would like to thank Mr. Armstrong and his team and the WCTA team. And I know Mr. Armstrong has worked tirelessly putting all of this together with all of the individualized pieces that go along with it. It's been a lot of work for him. So thank you, Mr. Armstrong, for doing that. Appreciate it.
I just appreciate seeing the smiling faces.
Yes.
I think they're happy.
Me too.
Okay, meeting adjourned.